You're very welcome back. Now, over the past few years, the word Bitcoin has become more and more common in the news. Billionaire Tesla owner Elon Musk earlier this month caused a stir by investing $1.5 billion of his company's money in the so-called cryptocurrency. And he's since lost his position as the richest man in the world as a result.
So what exactly is Bitcoin, and is it realistically somewhere you should be considering investing your hard-earned cash? Financial advisor Paul Merriman is here with all the advice. Good to see you, Paulie.
Hi, Paul.
Guys, how are things?
So, we've heard the term Bitcoin, but I don't think too many of us really understand what it is.
Yeah, and actually I think a lot of people that are investing in it don't understand what it is too. So it's basically a digital currency. It's a program or software that's been developed in mid-2000s, so it came out in 2008. If you hadn't invested it in 2008 onwards for maybe 3 or 4 years, you would have made absolute millions in it. But it's a very, very volatile investment. It's almost gamble-like. Sorry, it is gamble-like, to be fair. Would I invest in would you put your hard-earned cash into it? You'd probably put about less than 1% of your wealth into it. It'd be my recommendation.
So if you're looking at it, you can afford to lose.
100%. Money you can afford to lose. But when I say lose, I think it's more as you don't want to touch it for at least probably 5 to 10 years. But I'm probably on side of caution here saying 10 years out. So you want to be leaving it there and never to see it again. But you see over the last couple of weeks, a lot of stuff have come from trading platforms like the Wall Street Bets and the GameStop stuff as well. So a lot of the younger generation are getting involved. It's much easier to invest. Like, I don't know if you remember, I remember the Wall Street film being my first interpretation of what money was from a Wall Street point of view, and all the rich men running around Wall Street trading. That's not the same anymore. You can open your app, download software and start buying currency, and you start buying even crypto. You can start buying stocks and shares as well. So the world's completely changed, and once people get behind something, it can start making a lot of money. I think crypto's in that space now as well, like what we seen with GameStop a couple of weeks ago. So I think it comes to this hysteria with it as well. People get invested and go behind. I think when I looked at crypto 10 years ago, I think I was even on here at one stage saying, don't touch it, don't go near it, it's too volatile, it's a big gamble. But with Elon Musk getting involved, Tesla getting involved, and a lot of hedge funds in America now have got involved, you can see that the long-term play for crypto is actually probably there. But it's just, like, I think if you went in a month ago, you're up about 40% on your investment. If you went in 2 weeks ago, you're down 20%. When I left the house this morning, it was down 3%, and when just before I came on air here live, it was up 2%. Okay. So it's just mad.
So you're been on less extreme roller coasters in life.
Complete
That's crazy.
roller coaster stuff.
So you need to be ready for the highs and lows. You need to be ready to lose it ultimately,
yes,
and you need to be in it for the long term.
You need to be for the long term. Yeah, and I think if you're going to be trading this stuff, I think what people do is when they download the app or they might get invested in it, they start getting very emotionally affected by the swings in the investment. And that's not what investment is about. That's gambling. Yeah. So if you're looking to invest your money, we've spoken on the show loads of times about how deposit rates are an all-time low and people need to invest their money. So, we've got the Aspal Investment Club, which looks at a fund that has stocks and shares, over 400 of them. And they had 14% last year. It's gone around 30 years. Amazing track record. 99% of your money should be going there, in my opinion, your investment amount, not all your money. So if you have, say, €1,000 to invest or 500 quid to invest, 99% of your money should be going something like that fund we have. And then maybe if you want that gamble-like feeling from your money, then you'd may look at something like crypto. But crypto, just say as well, is unregulated. I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that. And it's not regulated by the Investor Compensation Scheme under Central Bank of Ireland. So it's very hard to find anybody that actually will invest it for you.
And it's often associated, would it be fair, with fraudulent activity. Even when I think of comments on Instagram, there's often kind of what I would consider these very dodgy comments, like, I made a fortune on Bitcoin, and a dodgy link.
Yeah, the spam messages where they use people's faces. That's good. But it is. Yeah. It's kind of moved away from that, though, because of the hedge funds getting involved and because of, I suppose, the likes of Tesla getting involved as well. I said it's gotten a little bit more, grounded, I suppose.
Yeah, and maybe becoming a bit more mainstream and people are taking more notice. However, if you are willing to, like you say, be gambling with your 1%, what are the obvious risks, apart from losing it all?
Well, again, I wouldn't even say lose it all. I think it will increase and decrease in value dramatically. But I think if you keep your Bitcoin there, it will always be worth something, in my opinion. I think it's there for the very, very long term. We actually have, just to say this, too much of a show, we have a course going on through Ask Paul in relation to investing and everything you need to know for Bitcoin. Because I think there's a lot of Irish people looking for it. We get asked on the Instagram page all the time, what's the story of Bitcoin? Can you tell us about it? So we have one running next week, but it's more just to educate people on if they're looking to invest their money to get more than deposit rates, and if they're looking to look at normal investments, what we call normal investments that we do for our clients all the time. And then we'll also educate them a little bit on the alternative investments, which would be Bitcoin.
And we mentioned Elon Musk in the opener there. So he obviously does everything in a very unique, futuristic way. Even the way you order a Tesla is quite unique. So he has said that he will start accepting payments in Bitcoin. Do you think this is the future, Paul?
Yeah, I do, but it's going to be the currency, it's going to be the value of Bitcoin. So say you bought Bitcoin yesterday for $70,000, you put into Bitcoin, and it fell by 20 or 30%. It'd be that value you're using to buy the Tesla. Does that make sense? So you're not actually using the 70,000 you originally put in. So it's not actually the Bitcoin, it's the value of Bitcoin he's going to be using. So it'd be like trying to buy something in dollars, you know, from euro. So that type of currency exchange would be there. So it won't be the same price. So you won't be, if you have 7,000 worth of Bitcoin, it won't be the same as the car value. So
do you think the banks are paying attention to this?
The banks are definitely paying attention. And this all happened on the back of the financial crisis back in 2008, where this was developed to take on the central banks. If you read any of the central bank reports, they'll kind of brush it to a side and say not a hope of it existing. But I do think, look at cash. Like, cash is practically gone now. You know, it's not going to be long before we're in a complete cashless society. And once that happens, the stuff like Bitcoin, I do think does have a massive future, but massive risk.
Yeah, I think what people kind of maybe find their head hard to get around is that it's not physical. It's a digital thing. And when we say Bitcoin, you don't necessarily own a coin.
No, you don't own a coin.
Bit of that coin.
Yeah, you are.
And then there's also a number of other these cryptocurrencies.
Yes, there's loads of cryptocurrencies. You'd be here for a week talking about all the different type of cryptocurrencies out there. I think Bitcoin is the biggest and the most well known, but it is just part of a massive chain of different types of currency, I suppose.
And I suppose if the risk is that high, the reward is obviously pretty decent as well.
Rewards,
so you said you've invested a few
I have, yeah, less than 1%.
But you're looking at 10 years before
10
you touch
years
that.
minimum before I touch it, yeah. And again, I went in before Elon Musk went into it, but again, I went in more when I said the hedge funds were going into it. But it's been the most volatile investment I've ever made. And the only reason I've been looking at the value of it is because of the likes of today's show and doing research and talking to people on the Instagram page about it. But I don't like the fact that it can go up and down that much value. And even trying to keep in the back of your mind that you said, right, this is going to be for 10 years plus. It's human nature to look at it when it's falling. Will I take it out? Should I put more in? And that's something that I've always preached people not to do, because that's not what investing is.
Yeah.
It's like I said.
Well, it's a bit like, maybe not a game is the right word, but there's a buzz off it.
There's a chase, isn't there?
I think it's almost like the Paddy Power app. You know, I really do think that to people. But as I said, if you are doing this, you really want to be holding it there for 10 years. You really want to be keeping it there for 10 years. If you do want
to accept or to invest, and you have that maybe that 1%, it's like playing a game, I suppose. How do you do it?
Yeah, so I use a site called Coinbase, and again, from the course that we have in Ask Paul this week, want to be bringing people through my account, showing them what we did, how you set it up, if you have an interest in it. But it does come with the health warning. It's not regulated, and it's literally it's not a recommendation to do it, but it's what I did to show people. We're here to educate people on what they can, do. But yeah, Coinbase is the account that I personally use to open up my account and put money in. But again, when I tried to transfer from my Irish bank account, it took a long time to get there.
Okay, so there's plenty of learnings there. Should you be brave enough?
Yes.
We'll invest 50 cents in the ad break. We'll see where it goes.
25 each, like.
Yeah.
Go in on that. Paul, before we finish, there's something very special watching.
Yes, there's Belle Murray is watching today. Belle and her parents, Kate and Caleb, are very good friends, myself and Sarah's. And Belle has just gone through 2 years of leukemia in Crumlin Hospital. And she rang the bell this week, which means she's cancer-free, leukemia-free. So there's a little clip of Belle. So I just think it's amazing, isn't it? It's just, it's such an amazing thing for her to achieve. She's only 6 and she's been a little rock star. And she's 2 brothers, Caleb and Bodie as well, and their parents, Kate and Caleb. I think all of their friends and family and everyone are just so proud of them.
Bella rang the bell.
Belle rang the bell.
Belle rang the bell.
Congratulations,
Belle, and all your family. So pleased for you. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.